Brambra back with some Grand Tactician Civil War USA campaign on very hard, very high difficulty and aggression. Okay, so where we left off in the last two episodes, we had two battles in Virginia, one up here in the Shenandoah between the 2nd Corps and the Army of the Northwest. Following that, Army of the Shenandoah under Johnston came up into this kind of Manassas area and engaged the 6th Corps, which is actually here, of the Army of the Potomac. The 1st Corps was in reinforcement range and was also part of that battle. However, the battle ended before 1st Corps entered the field. It only lasted about 6 hours. So 6th Corps is the newest corps in this army. It was untried. It was their first combat, and they did a fine job. And now the Army of the Shenandoah is about to start retreating back south. And I think that the way is open now to take Richmond. There's nothing between the 1st Corps and Richmond. And the main Confederate army in the area is currently a little discombobulated after their defeat, and they're retreating probably to Charlottesville. So that's the near-term plan here. In fact, I am going to go ahead and issue order. Well, not yet, because I think we're about to have some rear guard and pursuit action here. I haven't started advancing time since the end of that battle. Over here in West Virginia, the 1st Engineering Corps is just about done with this fort at Lewisburg. Then I'm going to see if I can't get him down into this upper Tennessee Valley and start exerting some control over the infrastructure points along in here. McClellan's Army of the Appalachians has started moving down this route toward Knoxville. The headquarters unit moved very fast. The 4th Corps is just now starting to get moving, but they're coming down here to secure the Cumberland Gap. Over here in Tennessee, this siege continues. 2nd Engineering Corps is trying to take care of Fort Hyman. It has started going back in the Confederacy's favor. This might simply be, though, because time has stopped and I have reloaded the game, the save. So this might just need a little bit of updating once the game actually starts running. But we've got the new 7th Corps coming down the river to help with these forts. So even if the 2nd Engineering Corps is in a little bit of trouble, they're soon going to have a lot of help. The thought did occur to me that one reason I wasn't keen on bringing our monitor squadron down was because I was afraid he might actually have to engage both of these forts at one time. I also did not want to bring him down to try to help the siege because the game mechanics simply don't work like that. It would be awesome if you could do a combined land-sea, besiege and bombard operation, and I've tried that before. It's an either-or thing. The Navy and the Army don't work together on a single action like that. But because Fort Hyman is involved in this siege, I think that means that the monitors could come down to here, and they may not be helping with Fort Hyman, but meanwhile they could be bombarding Fort Henry. I didn't think of that before, so let's see if it will work out that way. I'm going to go ahead and tell Farragut to come down here and actually, earn his paycheck. If we bring him to about here, he should be engaging Fort Henry and Fort Henry alone, and that way, we get ahead of the game, and he's working on Henry while the troops are working on Hyman, and then when Hyman's done, Henry should be nice and softened up, and they can take it quickly. And then we can bring the monitors back down the Tennessee and up the Cumberland to bombard Fort Donelson. Meanwhile, Polk's command, up to 20,000 estimated, has yet to move out of winter quarters. But as soon as he does, we've got Grant's Army of the Tennessee, which consists right now of the 3rd Corps, to deal with Polk. If you look at the front lines, Polk is actually surrounded by Union-controlled territory. Not super familiar with how the supply infrastructure works in this game, but I think it's possible that Polk may not have been getting supply for quite some time now. Let me turn off the battle monuments and turn on the telegraph and supply. In other news, our newly formed Pensacola Blockade Squadron, which consists of 5 newly built sail frigates, reached full green for readiness. And I've got them coming out now, and they're going to sail around and kind of plug a hole in our blockade, because the one significant Confederate seaport that had not been blockaded so far was Pensacola, and still is Pensacola. So I've got a force coming down to deal with that. That's 5 frigates there. That's 250 guns. That ought to be plenty. So that squadron will blockade Pensacola and I don't know how to pronounce that. Apalachicola, which is currently being blockaded by the Florida blockade force. But the new group can blockade these 2 ports, while this one will just shift over. We'll still be blockading Cedar Key, but then we'll also cover Tampa. And I've already got him moving over just a little bit to make that happen. And with that, let's get some time rolling. Yeah, rear guard. Okay, I should now be able to issue movement orders to the 1st Corps to just bomb right down here unopposed into the Confederate capital. And we're going to bring 6th Corps. A little low in readiness right now, but that's just because he just fought a battle. He'll recover that pretty quickly. And we'll bring him down to Fredericksburg. Oh, here comes the Army of the Potomac, the Confederate Army of the Potomac. I thought I had just ordered the 1st Corps down into Richmond. However, with this army coming up, you can stay right where you are. I would rather that first. Matter of fact, I'm even going to halt. That's not what I meant. I'm going to halt 6th Corps. I want to make sure at first. Yeah, there we go. I want 1st Corps to take lead on that battle. Let's bring McDowell a little closer. We can bring 6th Corps across the river. Well, that doesn't make much sense. Why do they have such a advantage? Okay, we're going to bring 6th Corps in, get him involved in the siege, and then once they are involved, we'll probably transition this into a tactical battle. See if Polk is moving. He's not. He's staying right where he is. Now that time is running, let's see if this is updated. Yeah, it just needed to recalculate. It's well, it says it should wind up pretty soon. Yeah, they've gotten nervous. So, kind of looks like 2nd Engineers might carry Fort Hyman by themselves anyway. I guess we need to get the river monitors a little bit closer to Fort Henry. I would have thought that'd be close enough. There he goes. Okay, so we got the engineers working on one fort and the monitors working on another one. I'd much prefer I could get them both working on the same fort, but this is at least some form of Army-Navy joint operations. Okay, 7th Corps is up to yellow. I'm just going to let them continue a little bit. I want to see the 2nd Engineers carry this fort by themselves. Is that little bitty force? Just 2 brigades there. And my initial idea was to bring the 4th Corps here, stop supply depot, and maybe a fort, and then, but no. You just come on right down and take Knoxville now. I think that would be better. But let's see, is Culpeper, not Cumberland is. I think this means we might be able to. That's right. We have all the points necessary to start constructing the Cumberland Gap Railroad. Okay, I want to mark this down. March 25th. Let's see how long it takes in this game to construct a new railroad. This isn't a repair or a completion. This is starting a completely new railroad. I want to see how long it takes. Is it a month? Is it a year and a half? I haven't the foggiest idea. The question is, will I notice it? Because I don't think you get a pop-up saying, hey, completed your railroad. Nor do I think it necessarily... Well, it does. It gives you a little bitty percentage there. So I'll have to remember to keep an eye on that. Okay, has our... Okay, now if I just tell him to go here with one movement, he'll sail right down through here and get hung up on this fort here at Cape Hatteras. And I know that there's a way to do waypoints, but I don't remember if it's shift or control. It's control. That's good. Off you go. All right. Nice job, second engineers. Fort Hyman has been taken. Let's see how the monitors are doing. Okay. Chimo has taken a little bit of damage. Oops. Well, looks like we lost a monitor. Ammo explosion. Even the most heavily defended ships. Oh my goodness, we just lost another monitor. And y'all saw, there wasn't... It's not like these ships took a bunch of damage and got low in their condition. It's just kind of an all or nothing. There's a chance of an ammo explosion and it might be 100%. Boom, it's gone. Well, I kind of thought that might happen, which is why I had already started building some more monitors. Okay, Fort Hyman is now ours. Okay, well, even some garbage political officer will be an improvement. Don't have that many left. Not... Okay, this guy is Illinois. So we were having problems before with a Maryland regiment. Let's see if we have any Maryland political officers. No, we don't. Okay. Okay, let's see. New Jersey 82, Delaware 73, Maryland 77. We don't have any Maryland officers. Recently put a West Virginia political officer somewhere. We could still use support in Kentucky, Missouri, Kansas. Earlier, I had kind of not prioritized Kansas because even though I need support there, there's not that many volunteers from here or available manpower. However, policy research speed is affected by overall state support. And overall state support is an average of all the states. So Kansas is still relevant for boosting this average up just a little bit and maybe get slightly faster policy completion. So let's see who we have for West Virginia, Kentucky, Missouri, Kansas. Those being the ones we have that are below 80%. We've already put several Kentucky and Missouri officers in commands in different places. Where is Fort Cruft? Ah, he's completed his fort here. All right. Got it. Right, so back to Fort Hyman Place. And we want to look at... We know there's not any Maryland officers. Political. Yeah. So we want Missouri. We've got all those guys billeted somewhere. Kentucky. West Virginia. And Kansas. One guy. A cook. Who's actually not bad. But he's a lieutenant. So if I promoted him up to brigade command, he wouldn't have those stats anymore. But the other thing we can do... Okay. In any case, I'm kind of going down a rabbit hole here. For now, I just need commanders in these two forts. Our priority states have already been kind of addressed, so... Fine. Ohio. I don't really think that these forts are going to be all that terribly relevant once they're all taken and we chase Polk away. So I'm not going to put additional garrisons in those. And then over in Western Virginia, or West Virginia rather, Wisconsin sounds good. Captain Hobart. And I do want to get that Kansas fella into command. Kentucky. All right. Let's create another artillery unit. From well, no. There is 0 available volunteers. Can't do that. Fine. Got a perk open. Combat efficiency in the dark. Blockading. There's got to be a bombarding. I know there is. I just can't. This is it. Mortar boats will be the first perk. He is slowly bringing the fort condition down. I don't know if it's an amount that's worth the loss of 2 monitors or not. In any case, I'm going to do enough here in Virginia. Okay, now how does this siege look? Substantially in our favor. And we've got significantly more men now. Beauregard still in command of the Army of the Potomac. I don't think I want this dragging on forever, though. Let's go ahead, and this will probably be... You know what, though? If we fight here, this battle is going to be on the Wilderness map, which is a monumental pain in the rear. It's just forest everywhere. Okay, we got our credit rating policy complete. So now I'm thinking could go Terrifact, could go. I always kind of like confiscation. Supply efficiency of armies operating in enemy states plus 15%. It does increase Confederate support. Oh, by +3 annually. Not just +3, but +3 every year. Okay. I think that's worth it. That'll put less strain on our supply infrastructure. So I think that's a good one. I'm going to go for this. Or do I want to go for industrialization 3? We've already got a lot of armies in enemy territory. Let's go with confiscation. We've actually had a couple of units break already. So have the Confederates. Ew. Including one of our Hall rifle brigades. That sucks. It's taken more casualties. First Corps, second perk. I like a pontoon for supply efficiency. Has the Army HQ? It has. That is going to be Ambulance Corps for the first one. And that'll apply to all 3 of these corps now. One thing I don't know. I've always been wary, and I've never actually done it. You know, the Army HQ gets 3 perk slots, and then the corps get 3 perk slots for a total of 6 that would apply, because like any of these corps, just, like the 6th Corps, they will get 3 perks, and then they'll also benefit from the perks from the Army Commander. What I don't know is, will they stack? Like if I put Ambulance Corps on the Corps and Ambulance Corps on the Army HQ, is that just a redundant waste? Or will I get twice as much effect? I just flat don't know the answer to that. If anyone does, I'd love to hear a comment to the video. Because if they stack, yeah, I'd put Ambulance Corps everywhere. I'm kind of dithering here. I don't know whether to transition this to a tactical battle or not. And let's see, we're about... I'm going to go ahead and do it. Let's go. We got infantry coming in on the left now. These 2 full-size brigades, and looks like there's a smaller brigade advancing as well. I'm going to get this howitzer moved over here. Let's move that division commander up a little bit. And these Confederate brigades have moved up a little bit. Right now they've stopped and are engaging our skirmishers. Sixth Corps getting closer. 6th Corps Cav is already up here. Let's bring them up just kind of a reinforcing position. Okay, the Rebs have got a big hole in here. Nobody between McBride and Wofford. So I am going to take Sedgwick, move him over here. And Key's flank. Why isn't that brigade in these breastworks? He was, wasn't he? Well, he's getting cover credit for it. So I think I'd rather have him up here. Okay, the skirmishers have been driven in. And Barlows are about to be. Tyler's rifle division is pretty hotly engaged now. They've just got a small brigade in front of them, though. I don't think it's going to take them too long to take care of that guy with the Hall's rifles. Taylor's pickets getting driven in. Oh, let's get these guys unlimbered. They're in position. Yeah, these guys have counter battery orders, but I guess that's too good a target for them to pass up. It's also firing on that artillery. I think that's fine. Well, this little brigade is in creek cover, but he's taken more casualties than he has guys left. Almost 60. There he goes. Okay. So now he's going to send the cav forward. Mounted cav. Yeah, he does that a lot. Seems like he ought to reface this way. Please don't do it stupid. You know what? Forget it. You got the cover bonus, you're not flanked, and you're firing. I'm just going to leave you alone. Rather than make you do a 360 here under fire. Okay, we got Mississippi rifles over here. So let's get Taylor to just turn his facing a little bit. And go to long range. LZ has already taken some pretty significant casualties there. Now he's catching some Mississippi fire, Mississippi rifle fire. We do have some pickets coming up here from, I guess, Whiting. What's going on the other side of the line here? Not too much yet. Why won't Barlow stay? Why won't Barlow stay in those breastworks? Well, he's getting credit for parapet cover over. Fine, I'll just leave him there. Okay. Okay, let's tell Hamilton to come over here. And let's tell Schenck to just come up right about here before he deploys into line. And those are Thomas's brigades. Where is Thomas? He's way back here. I don't know how much longer Keyes is going to hold. He's taken over 400 casualties. Taylor's firing, but I don't know exactly who he's firing at. get these guys to put some flanking fire on these skirms, drive them back. Maybe. No. I don't even see any sprites here. You know what? I'm going to pull them. Something seems bugged with those skirms. I'm going to pull them back. And I think rather than send them back out, I'm just going to bring this brigade out here. Start putting a brigade's worth of long-range fire down in this direction. I don't think he has to go that far. Here, more like that. Fine. I think I am going to try to change his facing, get him the green quality cover again. Hopefully he doesn't show his back to the enemy in doing that. That cav is almost gone. 1,200 casualties. Woo! Okay. These guys haven't done much yet. I don't understand what Barlow's deal is. Alright, Sheridan, go long range. Okay, that cav has been pushed out. Five casualties. Okay, we've pushed them back pretty good over here so far. See how our artillery is doing. Okay, 2,600 total casualties inflicted compared to 850 for the Confederacy. And Arty Division, 300. Hopefully, I think they should be doing a bunch of morale work, though. That's the idea of artillery in this game. And it's 1st Division, which is the Hall Rifles, who have delivered the majority of the casualties to the Confederates by far. Which makes sense. I mean, partially it's their weapons, partially, I mean, that's the one kind of attack that they've made. That's just where they came on these guys. Okay, I'm going to attempt again. So right now, Barlow is not getting any cover credit. I'm going to attempt again to get him back into this breastwork. I'm going to tell him to run up, or charge up there. There we go. Now, stay there. I'm tempted to turn your initiative off, Barlow. You and your checkered shirt. Geez, what do you got to do to drive off a few pickets? He's taking no casualties either. Are you kidding me? Not in cover, outflanked, not taking any casualties. No. Keys has taken 600. He's also low on ammo. I think I am going to pull this brigade back. And let Sedgwick carry the load here. Sedgwick and Kearney's division. Turns out I kind of didn't need all this dismounted cab over here, I guess. Alright. Let's have Schenk's guys go ahead and we'll put them in, let's go with double line. And then they can kind of come over here and that should be fine. Where's Lytle? Let's just go ahead and kind of put him up here. We're going to have some corps intermingling, I think. The Gibbons division, I think, is doing fine. Corcoran hasn't even been engaged because he's kind of in that gap. We don't know what these Confederates up here are going to do, though. They may come straight in this way. They're all kind of wavering. We may not be that far from them going into pre-retreat mode. That little phase where they start retreating before the game says the enemy is retreating. Bring Thomas's guys up. That's fine right there. Starting to get some more artillery available. I don't know, where's their commander though? Still back here. I almost feel like this little picket detachment here is bugged. I mean, they're getting fire from 2 brigades, and I think some artillery as well, and they've taken 5 casualties. Something's not right there. try to fix their... That looks better. I don't know if that's going to do any better or not. Okay, I think it's got more volume of fire coming now. Guys doing on ammo? 32, 52. Let's move Schenk over here. Okay. Start getting some of this artillery up. Nothing but 6-pounders in this new... Oh, there's some 3-inch ordnance rifles. Already got him moving someplace though. Well, at least he's taking a few more casualties now. He's burning a lot of ammo on these stupid skirmishers. Anything happening over here? Not really. Matter of fact, these guys have kind of pulled out. Pulling back. No. Let's bring Bernie out here and put some fire on. Oh, they just weren't spotted. They're there. cav up. Davis started the battle wounded. I think he got wounded during the siege warfare. I don't know why Custer is mounted again. I didn't want that. They're starting to pull back, so I guess it's okay that Custer is mounted. Alright, let's start getting all this cav moving. Oh, Custer dismounted again. Shank, where's your guys? wavering. Let's see if we can get a charge in here on these guys. That might be a bad idea. Yeah, that worked out all right. Oh, his commander's way back here. Where's the other Cav brigade? Back here somewhere. Kind of burn some cavalry here on inflicting more casualties. These guys have taken 200, 200, 100. Alright, he's wavering. Pull back. to take a chance on them breaking and the commander getting well, the commander's wounded. That may be a factor on why they're wavering. Just go ahead. I think they'll fire a little bit better if they're dismounted. And of course that messes up their facing. But not these guys. See, why can't they always dismount like that? Custer coming up? Yeah, he's coming. Bride withdrawn. Probably should have been paying more attention back here. They're not going to get over there in 5 minutes. 2 minutes. Okay, that infantry brigade broke, having taken 600 casualties. Alright. See if Custer can get a last charge in as time expires. I don't think so. Okay, what did we wind up there? 6,500 to 2,500. All right. Didn't lose any guns. He lost a little bit over half of his. Did lose the 1,000 cavalry. It was a little bit casualty heedless there at the end pursuit. And we lost 1,500 infantry. I don't know that the well, anyway, I don't want to repeat comments I've already made. I'm just going to say again that it's not necessarily that the battles are harder than I'm used to, but they are lasting a little longer. The units, the enemy units are kind of hanging in tougher, the firefights are longer, and we're taking more casualties. Still less than the AI, but just the gaps aren't quite as big. Okay. Kind of interested to see how well our cavalry did. Okay, so 6th and 5th divisions, those are the cavalry divisions. Not as much as I would have thought. 200, 300-ish apiece. Eh. What about the 6th Corps cavalry? Okay, they did a lot more. Yeah. Cav did a nice job. 6th Corps infantry really didn't get engaged. They were kind of there in reinforcing positions, but the battle had already turned. Tiny bit of contribution from the Arty, but the Lytle's cavalry divisions did a lot there at the end during the pursuit. So let's see. It was about 500-ish casualties from 1st Corps Cav and 1,600 casualties. So let's, I think we can just go with a round number of about 2,200 casualties delivered by the Cav. Meanwhile, they took about 400 here. And 600. So about 2,200 to 1,000. Total of 9% losses in First Corps, and should be pretty negligible. Yeah, 2% for Sixth Corps. Okay. And this was the Battle of Fredericksburg. So now in the last few days, we've had 3 battles in Virginia. In each of the Confederate armies in Virginia has now been defeated recently. One up near the Shenandoah, one at Manassas, and one here at Fredericksburg. Greg is famous. I don't think we had anybody rout, which some skirmishers obviously, but none of the main units routed here, which is pretty good considering how crappy the morale situation was at the beginning of the battle. Whiting loses face. That's the Confederate Whiting, not our Whiting. I think our Whiting is in another army, anyway. Okay. So, Joe Johnston already retreated in the direction of Charlottesville. I would expect that Beauregard is about to do the same. And that will do for this episode. If you're enjoying the content, leave some comments, leave some likes, maybe even leave some subs. And we're several episodes into the campaign now. I think this is episode 12. And if you haven't seen the whole thing, I will put a link to the playlist for this campaign in the end screen right here. Thank you very much for watching.